So what's going on? How's things? What's popping? I I am actually able to create moderators now on this platform. If you're interested, you seem to be, a pretty adamant follower. So I could dub thee moderator should you want. I don't know if Veronica's gonna pop up. Yeah, let's see if we can do this. Oh, okay, cool. Add moderator. Boom. Look at that. Let's new accounts, block accounts. There we go. Boom. You are now dubbed. You are a moderator. I haven't heard from my other two. I know one of them probably will barely ever be on here again. Maybe Veronica will be around some, but and other than that, keep it rolling with the punches, baby. What's do you drive for work, or is that just you driving to work? Like what are you into? My job was kind of chill today, but it is going to be busy tomorrow. Oh, okay. Commerce trucker, yeah. Y'all get paid. Y'all get paid. Well, they used to get paid a lot more when you didn't have to go by those rest regulations. Like there was truckers that were popping Adderall and just driving for like days on end, and they were just getting so much bank. And then they started coming up with these rules where you weren't allowed to like drive more than a certain amount of time per day or something. And they cut down on some of that money, but it's what it is, All right, we're rolling down. Yeah. Yep. That's it's funny in one aspect. Commerce is like every business owner is in the market for creating more and faster commerce. Like the faster you can do commerce, the better. And if you look at a lot of the foreign Oriental models, I think it's China or something. They try to like shave off seconds off of manufacturing to increase productivity and stuff. Because that's the business model for profit is to get stuff out as fast as possible for as cheap as possible, and basically have it have a very short shelf life, which is called manufactured lack, where the business model of today's commercial realm basically is trying to say that there's not enough. There's a shortage of everything and short shelf life, when they can create stuff that lasts like almost forever. The expiration date on food and stuff is just fabricated. It's not real. Most of that stuff lasts a lot longer than it says. And it's just the business model, and that's why I try to tell people that the IRS is kind of honorable, like the system. Once you understand everything and embody everything, it's hard. That's why I was trying to reveal all the different stages to becoming sovereign, understanding what it's like when you get nature, spirit, and commerce under your belt. All the systems that are established have been established for a reason, and they're good, and they're for edifying, and for binding, and for setting free, and for established judgment on this earth. It's all, if you break it down to its simplest element, down to like even electrons and neutrons, there's a positive, a negative, and a neutral, and you always want to take that neutral. And just like the 7 stages of creation are all the way down from the micro up to the macro, it's like an amplification of everything, one and all, and it's all light and vibration and love and frequency, and everything is all tied together, and it's amazing. It really is. It's weird. It's like I'm getting suppressed and promoted at the same time by TikTok. Like TikTok is not putting my stuff out. Like no, I used to be able to reach a lot of people when I make a video, and when I started putting out the new stuff, of course I know nobody cares about spirit. They just care about money. But I think it was because they were trying to do coding, right? So for a while there, TikTok had changed their inbox kind of rules, and all of the alignment of how you receive messages was weird, and I was getting likes that had happened like days before, like then they just pop up all of a sudden. People that were liking at one time, it wouldn't show up, or they just bulk them together and group them, and I just think it was coding that was changing everything. But So, how's everybody's Thursday? It's an odd day. Like I said, I'm pretty busy. Been steadily kind of dating someone, and she's taking a little bit of my time up. But I'm still doing my thing, handling all my business, having fun, enjoying life, loving, living large. Hope everybody out there in TV land's good. All one of you guys is probably just my moderator on here now. So I guess I will talk about how important it is to embody the three elements. Spirit, I'm glad that you said spirit is your biggest concern, and that is really the foundation, the highest form of law. It's the most important thing. It is what we all need to close our eyes and open up the unity, and once you're able to see that, the Luciferian sun deceives us all through this natural light, where we think we're all divided by this natural light, but we're not. We're all one. We're all actually connected through the light, and all the lights through the moon, the natural sun, and the spiritual sun. And what's real cool about the Bible is when you start to learn Hebrew, Moses was Hebrew, right? And he was in Egypt for a long time. He learned all their ways in and out. And he wrote the first 5 books of the Torah. And when you read about when it says that the Adam and Eve, right, when they bit the tree of knowledge. Now, the Bible is the tree of knowledge. It is the good, the revealing what is good and evil, right? And I'm glad you're studying the Kabbalah. Yes, Ab, that's awesome, because it is so much good stuff in there. I'm just kind of slightly on a different path. So it's Kabbalah, Allah, all law. So all law is Allah, and that's kind of what I am embodying and embracing here, is all law. I'm trying to reveal all law and how it can flow through you. Now, when you read Moses, his book, when Adam went with the fall of man, right? It says the creators, Elohim, says they now, since he ate the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they now know both Tov and Ra. And that is the natural sun and the spiritual sun. Ra is the natural sun. Tov is the spiritual sun. That's good and evil, right? So the natural light is perceived as evil because it's showing the temporary bodies and nature of the momentary pleasure, right? Whereas the spiritual sun is the one of unity of our bodies that are forever. And it's cool when you start breaking stuff down like that into understanding Hebrew and breaking it up. Cain, either Cain or Team Abel. Now, Cain was marked, because you got to remember that all things work together for good, right? And that's why it's very important to embody all of the different laws and understanding why everybody's bound in them and you can be set free. What is established is there for a purpose. Now, there's a reason why when you figure out how to tap into the private side of your estate through the Social Security bonds and stuff, that you have to sign an NDA or you will go to jail, right? Because you will not only upset and disrupt the entire world system if you start standing on the roof and preaching how nobody ever has to work again, but everybody is leaning on the framework that has been established for a reason. Like they want the law. They need to be bound by the law. They want the graven images. They can't see beyond the flesh. They can't see beyond the natural realm. And I personally have said before, I enjoy that if something crazy is going on out there, like riots and fires and guns and machines, that there's established entities that could come in and stop that. I don't have a crew like that. I couldn't stop a riot. Not just me. Anyway, through spiritually, of course, you could do anything, but not in this natural realm. So Jesus, is that Jesus? Is that how Jesus? Jesus, what's up? My bad, I hadn't clicked in. You're good. And that's funny. There's times when I see people's lives and I don't want to click on it so that I've joined it, but you can still watch them on the outside. It's like you're on the outside looking in. And I've been there on a lot of things. I had looked up and there's one. I've been on here and I've had 500 people on the chat, and typically it's only 20, 30 people. It depends on what I'm talking about at most, but it just kind of helps on the flowing when there's people that I can interact with, and it's just not me chatting, because I'm doing this for y'all. I'm recording this and posting it online and putting it on there so that if y'all want to learn and edify yourself on the ways that I walk and follow me, you will do so. Hi, how you doing, Mimi? How you doing, Christina? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. It's Thursday. I normally come on Friday, but I'm going to be pretty tied up tomorrow. So how's everybody out there? I'm glad that you caught me and you can ask questions. Feel free, at any time. So I was just talking about how important it is to embody all the laws and understand why they're established, and how the system is actually pretty perfect when you can grasp it all. And that's why stage 4 is understanding all of the laws, and how everybody's bound by it and all that stuff. Because when you come into, or stage 5 is, so when you come into the 6th stage of becoming quote unquote man, which is mankind, not just males, it's female and male. When you go into the 6th stage, you can bring all of that knowledge with you. Now, all of the stages of development in the spiritual realm, the natural realm, and the commercial realm are to be continued. It is not a one-time thing, aka like stage 1 is receiving the separate spirit from the world. That is a continuous thing that must continue to flow through you, just like day 2 is when you separate yourself from worldly things and others. That is a continuing thing. You are supposed to continue to bring all of the stages and steps and knowledge and wisdom and foundations of all continued through you. And there's a reason why there are different seasons and stages and steps to becoming basically a God on the earth. The creators, the rulers, the divine judges that help mentor you and refine you and put you in a furnace are testing you. And the whole system is established like this, from the very micro, like I said before. You go down to the smallest parts of particles, and you have a neutral, a positive, and a negative, electron, neutron, and a whatever, and all the way up to, it's basically judgment from the tiniest all the way up. You can take the neutral position, you can do positive or negative, and there are consequences and reactions to all of the ways that you take. So it's up to you how you walk, and all the way down from the micro to the macro, the creators are revealing how everything has been established. Everything has been established where there is a neutral position, a positive and a negative, and there is a result for the past and the choices and the efforts and effects that you make, the ripples that you put out there. Everybody can believe in karma, but they don't want to believe in the creators. They don't want to believe that this is all established by design. They want to believe that we just accidentally popped up out of nowhere and we're all just freaking monkeys that crawled from soup and it's just an accident. Somehow every single thing is perfectly in balance and harmony from the sun, the spiritual sun, and the moon, and the waters, and everything. It's just accidentally happened, we just crawled from soup. Christina, or Mimi, yes, laws keep us safe. Yes, they do keep us safe. And what's cool about it is when you embody the laws, you can use them. They're out there and established for us to use. Now, I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been on the negative, I've been on the positive. And I've also now started to embody the neutral. And the neutral is where you want to be for all things so that you can see clearly, right? When you start, I've been on the side of where I've been a hoodlum out there trying to destroy and steal and do drugs and get in trouble and do all this stuff when I was younger. And then I've been on the positive side where I understand why everything's in place and how and why it's there and established, and you can use it. And that is where the neutral position is the most important key. Some people interpret it, you should never take the neutral position, but even if you take a position, a decide, if you decide and go to one side or the other, it's always important to keep your mind open to accept any opposing opposition or truth or knowledge that comes from an alternate source if it's reliable. Because, like I said, when I started becoming awake, I started realizing that everything I ever thought I knew was wrong. It's false. It's crazy. It's nuts. So once I, like I said, I started learning how the systems were at play and everything was established, I started taking that neutrality position, because I knew at that point that I actually know nothing. When I became awake, I realized I know nothing, and I'm just a student, and I'm just walking this earth on a path of enlightenment and having no clue what really is going on. So I'm glad you're doing well, Christina. Thank you. Mimi, yes. Christina, ebb and flows, contractions and expansions. Yes, everything. And everything's like in a beautiful spinning vortex of rhythm that has been established by design, and it's once you start to become awake to how things are established, everything just starts to make sense. Everything's interlocked through this triangle, inside and out, up and down, all through. That's why, like I said, if you break it down to the smallest microns, to the atoms, which is funny, man, first day, number one, atom. You break it down to the atoms of the neutron, the electron, and the proton, positive, negative, neutral, all the way up to the macro. The days of creation are the same thing. They're explaining it's not just how you can become God on earth. It was also explaining how the chosen people, from the neutron, or from the smallest part to the greatest part. It's talking about the chosen people of the Creator, how they could go through the 7 stages and become one with His kingdom also. It's a very beautiful law book, and that's why it's my favorite law book. Clone, do you know about the Black Knight satellite? I have seen the Black Knight satellite, and I am a flat earther just because I have done an insane amount of studies. And if you don't believe me, go on my website under Nature, Earth, Flat Earth, and look at the hundreds and thousands of videos and documents and data that I have done research on. And to me, it seems like there is no space, okay, quote unquote. You can't have a vacuum next to a non-vacuum, where the only barrier is gas. It doesn't work. It doesn't. They've proven it, and it's all smoke and mirrors. And it's all part of the rulers trying to keep us in a blind box, not accepting that there was a creator, that everything is established by design. That's how I perceive and view the world. Mimi, yes, good stuff. Thank you. Pay attention. Hey fam, is that what you're saying? Hey fam, F and AM? F and AM? Is that F fam? Christina, as above, so below. Yep, within, without, above, below, in and out, body. It's all beautiful. Oh, the book that I'm talking about is the Bible. It is not the only divinely inspired written text by any means, but it is one of the most beautiful law books. It is the most amazing law book that I have ever read. I have started reading a little bit of different, like Quran and stuff like that, but I'm very firmly founded on the King James version of the Holy Bible. I'd love to learn some Hebrew and stuff, and because that's like the purest form, and it's beautiful too, the Hebrew language. I love it. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. And quantum alchemy. Divided the waters above from the waters below with a firmament, paraphrase. Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's the division, dividing. So now, if y'all listen to my creation stories, I'm not saying the natural interpretation didn't happen. I'm not saying that the Creator didn't create the earth in this way. I'm not saying that Moses didn't part the Red Seas. I'm not saying that there weren't beasts of the fields created by the Creator. I'm just saying that there is a natural interpretation, a spiritual interpretation, and a commercial interpretation for a reason, and they're all interlocked and all intertwined, and they all are connected in one. So just because I say that this is this and that is that, there's different angles to view everything, and some people say angles mean angels, but it's just your perception, and that's the parable about the 4 blind men touching the elephant, where they're all touching different parts and trying to describe the same thing, but they're all, it's all the one body. Are you walking in both worlds yet consciously? Absolutely. I constantly am. I dream dreams. I can do things spiritually. I can do things naturally. I can do things commercially. Oh yeah, that's a good song, isn't it? I got a playlist, man. I just kind of rotate through them, and they, I'm into love songs. I turn on the radio, and some of these songs on there have absolutely no substance, and everybody's just bobbing their head to it, and they're talking about like raping your family and killing and putting bullets, stuff like that. It's like, no, it's terrible. And everybody's they're just bobbing their head because it has a good beat, and that's all part of the tricks of the satanic worshipers who want to get your natural body bound into stuff like that. Like you got to wake up. What's up, Justin? How you doing? But yeah, I'm walking in all three worlds, Christina: nature, spirit, and commerce. And I try my best to walk one with the Creator through everything, because the spiritual walk is the most important. And it's real easy. It is real easy to forget about spirit, because there is so much confusion out here in the natural realm, right? And a lot of times you just got to close your eyes and breathe. Like if you close your eyes, what color am I? What color is my voice? There's been so many times, matter of fact. Oh, thanks for the hat. I appreciate it. Your gifts will be used to help enlighten others as I promote my videos to wake people up. So thank you. That's when you close the eyes of division, the temporary confusion lights, and you're able to open up your one eye of unity and start to breathe. Like these are techniques that our ancestors knew. All of these things were taught very, very prevalently, including the body being the temple, and how Moses was given in similitude how the natural body was laid out, and they created a camp and started showing what basically is happening with angels within and without, and how you can burn the flesh, which is our body, basically sacrificing yourself to help others, and that is a pleasing scent to the Creator. If you look in the book of Hebrews, it says he doesn't desire like you to sacrifice bulls and rams and stuff. Like that's not what he's. But I mean, you can. Don't get me wrong. You can sacrifice goats and all that stuff, and you'll be judged accordingly to that. On the spiritual level, he's explaining how your body is the temple, and you have angels that minister in and out of the temple, which is the most holy of. You got the holy and the most holy place, which is the golden box, and how you're supposed to operate. And originally it was tabernacles, and then Solomon, King David wanted to build a solid temple for the Creator, but the Creator did not put that on him. He said that the fact that you want to build me a home is honorable for you in your heart. He said, but I'm not going to basically let you do that, because the Creator knows that we are the real temple. Now his son Solomon, who was the seed of, if you learn how Solomon was conceived, is pretty messed up. It's kind of a cursed seed. And King Solomon was the one that actually created the first physical temple, which is a similitude of our natural body. And I'm actually going to get into that. I think I might do the 8th day 8, and then do the temple video. Is how I think I'm going to do this. And what's wild is I'm walking and learning with y'all, right? I thought there was only 7 days to the creation, but I've learned that the 8th day, and you just keep going. But I'm only going to go to the 8th, and then stop from there, and then go to, I think, how the body is the temple, and then from there, I don't know, I might do another commercial one so I can get 100, 250,000 views instead of 6. So. But anyway, at least I'm putting the stuff out. I love it. All right, you're white and gold right now in the astral with a. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you can see that. I don't. White is actually white and gold's really good. Blue's like Admiralty. That's 3 colors, so that's beautiful. I appreciate that. White and gold and blue. Would you mind explaining your interpretation of what those colors are? Because white is very, very pure, especially if you put all 7 colors of the rainbow together into the rainbow body. And that's part of what the 7th stage, which I just released, means and is talking about. Becoming one with all your chakras in alignment, and embodying the light body and becoming white light. I know blue as being Admiralty. I know gold as being, highly conductive and pure, and basically what we're supposed to be refined as. So, and a lot of these things also have, and this is what's beautiful, guys. Once you start understanding and unlocking everything with the scriptures, you can understand how to interpret dreams and what they mean, and what the symbolism is through nature, spirit, and commerce, and it's pretty cool. I love it. Like I just love this stuff. Like I wish more people would become awake and like enjoy life, because once you start to embody and embrace the flowing of the Creator through you, it's just like everything it's amazing. It's beautiful. You know, I walk around and I see people that seem kind of sad, you know, miserable, and I'm just like how, why? I mean, life is so amazing. It's like it's beautiful, you know, once you start figuring everything out. But the natural systems and commercial systems, they're designed to like beat you down, you know. And that's why if you don't have that spiritual foundation of understanding, I get it. Like I get why some people are so sad, you know. If you don't have that foundation laid, it's a very, very important step to take out there. You know, that's just my interpretation of how I like to walk, you know. So, but that's pretty cool, Christina. I didn't know you had eyes to see. I love that. I love the spiritual things. I'm able to do some things. Maybe we can DM, you know, maybe not. But and a lot of times I'm being led to do certain things and to not do certain things. Like I always question things. For example, here's a good example. When I'm walking around, I see homeless people. Like I want to generally help everybody, right? But I always ask the creators, I always ask the rulers, I always ask the divine angels, like, should I help them? Should I help them commercially? Should I give them some money? Should I help them spiritually, mentor to them through my spiritual body? Or should I help them naturally, right? I'm always asking, right? Because there's a reason. I learned this a long time ago. I had a prophet talking to me, and he said that he was going to help somebody. This is before I started learning about spiritual stuff. The Bible was becoming unlocked to me, and I was talking to the prophet, and he was telling me that this is what happened to him. He was getting ready to cast a demon out of somebody. He was getting ready to set somebody free. And right before he did it, the Creator said, "Stop." And he's like, "What? Why?" And he said that the Creators told him, "I have put this person in this position for a reason. You don't know what they have done. They are not a good person. They do not deserve to be set free right now. Keep them in bondage." And that stuck with me. So whenever I'm walking and I see someone like a homeless person, I always question. It's like, should I help this person out in any way? And a lot of times, I'm talking 95% of the time, I am led not to help that person in any way, shape, or form. Now, the other percentage of the time is mostly spiritual mentoring, where I mentor to them spiritually, but not so much commercially. You know, I don't, but sometimes, you know. Anyway, you're an adept. That's awesome. That's really cool. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Thanks for coming on and joining. Hola, buenos dias, chica. 22 years now and a mystery school guide. That's pretty cool. Heck yeah. There's a lot of mystery school teachers out there. I've just never been like invited or seen one or tried to learn. I've known that the stuff is out there to learn, but I just have not, because I don't know. Just haven't been led to it. Thanks for joining my live. I appreciate it. So Christina, if they ask for help only, no, not even if they ask for help. So even if they ask for help, I still check spiritually whether or not I should help this person, because like I said, if the rulers have basically established that this person needs to not be helped for a reason, they could have just like hurt somebody or, you know, done something, and then you're just gonna give them $20, you know, so they can go smoke crack or something. You know, it's like I have to be led, and that's why there's so much stuff that I want to learn. There's so much stuff that I want to get into, like Kabbalah, for instance. Like there's some teachings that I really wanted to dive into, but that's not my path right now, because mine is sitting here, you know, trying to help y'all and do certain things in this way. But I always try to be led by the Spirit, and always, and that's all part of the creation steps and stages that you got to go through. Because as they say, you know, your thoughts are not my thoughts. That's what the creators say. And once you get to where your thoughts are theirs, like on one, and that's why there's different levels and different stages where, yeah, it is. once you get to the different stages for a reason, right? There's an order for a reason, and then just like there is good. Just like there's good levels of creation walking with the creators, there's also like evil ones, like where you can start sacrificing others to, and gain levels. Like, and they talk about it all the time in the entertainment industry. They're like, yeah, I sacrificed my boy to do this, or I had to sacrifice there. I'm drinking blood, and it's like that ain't for me. That ain't for me. All right, so Tim Ray, Charles, how would you help somebody naturally in nature, so to speak? So naturally, it depends on what is ailing them, but typically I try to start with the natural temple, and I try to explain like how everything is established with your body and how you can keep it in check and balances, right? So even the Creator says if you walk closer with them in the spiritual realm, they will bring your mortal life, your mortal body more to life, basically saying you'll live longer because you'll be in one accord spiritually through that flow. So naturally, I would explain stuff like that, like the natural body and how you have a pH balance, how Wi-Fi messes up your cell signals, how you should eat. So you got breathing, and that's in my natural video. If y'all look at, I think it's my nature 2 or 3. I basically explain how I would help somebody out naturally, and like the biggest is like love, because if we're not in love and around love, like that's the most important of all. And then learning about the natural body and how it operates, because the creators say, know thyself and you will know God. We are the temple. Our body is the temple of the creators, and we are basically walking tabernacles, and so, but everybody is in their own walk and on their own path and must be ministered and mentored to accordingly, right? What's good for me might not be good for you, and that's how I operate all the time. And that's why I talk all over the place on here. It's one-on-one, but all of these lives are recorded and posted on my YouTube. If you want to go back and listen to anything, the audios are on my Telegram group. So that's how I operate. So, Sav, Kabbalah seems to me to be the creation of all other schools or systems. That it's very possible. Like I said, and it might have been Embodiment Celestial, I'm not 100% sure, but there was this book I was going to spend like $120 or $30 or something on, and it broke down, the man of war, how our natural body is the one that's fighting and is the gateway in the temple, and how the words like Yov-He, Tav-He, or however you say it, is like man and human and a reverberation of the word, the spoken and written and stuff like that. But the physical realm. So Tim, nature is the physical, natural, temporary realm, right? And that's why I have my triangle and my understanding, my knowledge to help everybody through all stages, no matter what you're on, what your path is. If you desire to understand how, if you tear down your temple and you give it the right nutrients and water, it will be rebuilt back stronger, right? That is the Creator showing you a reflection of spiritually what you're supposed to do in the spiritual realm. But naturally, it works too. If you break down and tear down your temple by working out, you will get an increase. You will be, if you have the right nutrients and stuff, the Creator will give you an increase. And it's the same thing spiritually. It's just kind of a reflection. The temporary is somewhat of a shadow. And I always suggest everybody to listen to what is the name of that? Plato's allegory with the cave, with the fire. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with that, but it's a beautiful allegory of how everybody who's asleep thinks that and they're in a cave and they just see shadows on the wall and they think that's their whole reality. That's kind of how we are in this natural realm. Is like this. Everybody thinks this natural realm is the real reality, but it's not. It's the temporary, fake, false, momentary one, and it's very hard to see past that. You basically sometimes you have to close your eyes. Like I said, close your eyes. What color is my consciousness? What ethnicity is my voice? And earlier I almost started saying this. There's been so many times when I've listened to somebody, or you make judgments off of their voice, and you think somebody looks this way, or you've talked to somebody on the phone so many times, but you've never met them, and you start trying to come up with a picture, and then they look absolutely nothing like you envisioned, because their voice is not them. It's not their natural body. It's not, it's the flowing consciousness of the Creator, like coming out. There's no color to that stuff. We're all one in this game. Nobody's gonna make it out alive. We're all into this together. I'm a part of a Kabbalah association. We meet every Sunday. I'll post it later to the gram. That's cool. Excellent. Heck yeah. I almost, like, the video with the guy talking about how he's giving a shout out to the guy who, like, went viral on that one song. I was tempted to not necessarily delete it, but give some comments on it, because he was talking about, like, screw the system. I'd rather, like, make money selling drugs on the street than work for a corporation. And I'm not saying that that's good or bad, but it's just kind of like I don't really want to promote that path, right? I get what he's saying. The corporation, and it's a messed up system if you start working that 9 to 5 as a slave puppet for a corporation. But yeah, it's why do you get angry sometimes? It is, Saab. I mean, life is, some days are magic, some days are tragic, man. This ain't easy, man. This walk, it's designed, it's not easy. And that's why I wish everybody had that spiritual foundation, because it helps so much in our walks, for everything. Just to know that it's all momentary what we're going through. This isn't long-term, forever, permanent stuff. It's just temporary. This is just the beginning. This is like stage 1, right? This is the natural realm. It's like just the beginning. And work through the spirit, Sav, and work through the spirit to feel better. Yeah, that's why meditation is important. That's why I was saying, you get into that meditative state, and I'll tell you what can help too when you're driving is listening to positive music and positive feedback and stuff like that. Because all these things have vibrations and frequencies and stuff. And just like tuning forks, when you're around somebody that's like toxic for you and you kind of know it, but you don't care because it's kind of fun, that tuning fork starts to vibrate, and y'all start picking up the same frequencies, and y'all start vibing together, right? So the same thing happens when you're blaring music or listening to some, like, I actually loved listening to audios, right? So I would turn on my audios whenever I had driving. I would go into my class folders. I would start playing audios of people who had spiritual foundations, because it's all tied together. Remember, nature, spirit, and commerce. It's all one. You get into listening to some of these teachers who are promoting self-love, sacrificing, and unity and stuff like that. And you start embodying it, and it's just so beautiful. And that's why Brandon was one of my most favorite teachers out of all the class folder audios that I listened to. Before he got locked up, right? Before he got locked up, he was just, oh man, I loved listening to him. His come from, his peace. Like, I was ready to walk and grow and build with this dude, like one-on-one. And I almost wrote him a letter, and I was getting ready to, and then I didn't send it. And then I met up with him a long time after he got out of jail, and he was just absolutely nothing like he used to be. Like, his jail ruined him. Like, the 7 years or whatever he was in jail, he came out a whole different person, and I barely even want to acknowledge him. Now it's crazy how he used to be everything that I wanted to be, as far as helping and embodying the commercial, natural, and spiritual realms for everybody. But Christina Westhoff, the Kabbalah would benefit me greatly, and I believe it, and I touch on it occasionally. But like I said, I have to go where I'm led, and I could spend the rest of my life studying Kabbalah. I could spend the rest of my life studying the Quran. I could spend the rest of my life studying the codes, statutes, and policies and public, if I wanted to. And that's why it's important, even in the Bible. Like, a lot of times I'm led to stop reading it sometimes. Like, that's my favorite law book, and it's very important. One of the first things I actually, when I started meeting back with Brandon, right? So Brandon taught me a lot of what I know growing up in this commercial realm and stuff. But one of the first things that I learned from when I met back up with him was a lot of the people who followed him before he went to jail and were back with him afterwards. What is most important is love and being in peace in your come from and how you are on this earth. That is the most important thing out of everything, like everything. Coming from love, being in peace, being at one, how you are, your come from, your being, your resonance, your vibration, your frequency, your that is what is most important. Not filling out 6 million documents and trying to send them to the IRS, not who's your boss, what are you working for, how do you bring food to the table, not none of that is what is most important. What is most important in this life, and I embody that. I do. I think the most important thing is to always come from love, and you have to be very, very important with your vibration and frequency and come from. So I was reading something while saying something else, so it was kind of weird, because at first when I read, you said gotta face the dark just as much as the light balance, right? I was sitting there thinking that you were talking about how my face is half eaten because of the green screen, because that happens all the time. I'll look up and I'm like, I got half a face because of this green screen just be chewing me out. You want to stay in the neutral as much as possible, Sav, not necessarily look at light and dark, because even the Creator says, I dwell in dark places, right? So the dark places is in the consciousness of your mind. That's where the natural light doesn't penetrate to an extent. Some natural light gets in there, but typically it is, the dark place is the most holiest place, which is your consciousness, your mind, your brain, and that's where the Creator says He'll meet you and give you a new name, and that's where you're supposed to stay in a place of neutrality and judge light and dark equally and understand the purposes of both, and how pain needs pleasure to exist, light needs darkness to exist, heat needs cold to exist. It's just like that. It's the duality. Like nature needs spirit to exist, because if there wasn't a spiritual, like, we would just drop like lumps of pig fat, like just falling off the table like a hot dog. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be us without spirit. Like instantly, if my spirit was out of my body. Now, I'm saying that if it left like death, not the daily death. I'm talking about like that long term night, the checkout, right? Now I can operate through the flesh spiritually and still stay alive, and I do that so that I'm not saying that. I'm talking about like when you check out night, bye. See, but it's when you start reading the Bible and you understand all the different levels, death, sleep, dying, awake, like all these things kind of are intertwined. When you talk about people being dead, like even though they're alive, it's almost like the Bible's calling them NPCs because they're asleep, right? Which is allegorically, spiritually interpreted as dead. Like they're dead. And it's the same thing that happens until you receive the Holy Spirit. You were dead. And that is why day one, even though you are alive, you're walking around, the creators are telling you the first step, all right? Forget everything your mama told you. Forget everything the schools taught you. Forget all that crap. The first step, number one, Genesis, beginning, is receiving a new spirit, a Holy Spirit. Not the one you're born with, not, a new spirit. That is the very beginning, step one. The creators are telling you that's the first step. Right? There's a reason for that. There's a reason. Because the Bible, the law book, is trying to reveal there's more to this game, right? These are big kids puzzles, right? You're trying to figure everything out. Sav, that's the clip off? What the heck is a clip off? I have never ever seen that word. Did you mistype that? Because if that's like a real word, with a Q. It's supposed to be a Q. Kabbalah. Yeah, okay, I got you. Substance and form. Yeah. And that's, it's wild. Women are more attracted to substance, right? They like a man that is mature, established, has, good personality, all this stuff. And men like the form. They just like that booty. They like the shape, the curves, all that stuff. And that's why I always laugh, because it's like, guys lie, because words are substance. Words come from the spirit. It's amazing how the divine feminine and masculine energy work together, especially when you get them interlocked right. And men lie because women like the substance of the words, and then women wear makeup because guys use their natural eyes. Jehovah, thanks, man. Appreciate all the gifts. All your gifts will be used to enlighten more people. Thank you for following me. Thank you for being part of this path and walking with me. This live will be on my YouTube, guys, if you want to go back and listen to it. I've talked about a lot of great things. It'll also be, the audio will be on my Telegram group. Browse around on my website. We got free esoteric knowledge on there. You have to say, thank me. You thanking me is you thanking yourself, my friend, because I am just a divine reflection of you, and we are all one in this game together. You know, we are actually in a dance. We're all connected through the natural light, the spiritual light, and the commercial light, all in one in unity and fire. And that's why it gets confusing sometimes, because it's like, if we're all one and we're all the same and it's all one, you know, what's the point, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there's everything's established for a reason, you know. And my understanding is that the creators, the rulers, the divine angels want us to become spiritually enlightened till we translate away from this temporary crap, right? They're trying to show us the path. Now, it's narrow. It is narrow. It gets so narrow, it's hard to see. Like, you know, microscope, right? It starts getting tiny. Well, they're trying to show us the way out, you know? But it also, in the beginning, it says it has a spinning sword in every which direction to block you from the Garden of Eden, which is the spiritual city of unity of the natural, or the spiritual realm that we're all tied together in. And once you start taking the steps, the angels are showing us, they're leading us, they're there to test us. They are ministers, as the Bible says, I make my ministers flames of fire. They are putting us through the fire. They are testing us. All of your acts and trials are tried by fire. Trials by fire. That is what we're in. This natural, this oxygen is a fire on earth. Let me answer some questions. Let's see. Jehovah, you always say, go back and watch my posts, and before I didn't realize why until I actually went. Okay. Yeah, it's because I talk a lot, right? And some people have time, and if they want to, you know, re-educate and learn what I'm teaching and where I come from. That's why I always tell everybody, like, watch my playlist, right? Before you start coming to try to ask a bunch of questions that somebody else taught you or what you think, like, check out what I know, how I understand things, how I break everything down, how I teach, and then let's walk together, right? If you want to. I have people that are indoctrinated, so when they actually come to me and they're like, hey, you know, can you help me? I'm about this, you know, the spiritual stuff, and then they hear some of my spiritual stuff, and then they're gone, right? And that is part of where the young men in the Bible are classified as indoctrinated herbs-bearing seed that can't receive new wine. And I was indoctrinated. I was indoctrinated through the Bible, right? If you're indoctrinated and you can't receive new wine, it says that the wine bag will burst. It's talking about you, like you can't handle it. And that's why I try to be very careful the way I use my tongue and try to teach people on different levels. So, where are we at, Jehovah? Also, you keep saying the spiritual is the most important, but people focus more on commerce. And now I see, yes. And there's a reason for that. Everybody's bound by mammon. Now, mammon is so powerful, okay? Water, right? So the spiritual light, the commercial light, the moon, that water. Water gives life, right? But the spirit is really the life. Natural is temporary. The commerce is the medium in exchange between both nature and spirit, and commerce, or between both. Commerce, you can't do anything without it. I can't talk, walk, move, listen, like nothing. I can't do nothing. But commerce can't do nothing without nature or spirit. It needs one of those as a vessel for transmitting, right? Like, just like I can send out frequencies and thoughts through my brain out into the ether, right? And I can change the reality around me through sending out consciousness, right? That commercial resonance needs my vessel in order to translate it outward. Mammon is very important and very powerful, and most people are in this natural realm asleep as animals walking around, and they haven't even gone through day one, right? The first step of spiritual enlightenment, and they're just walking around as sleepwalking basically, as quote-unquote NPCs. I don't like saying that because everybody has the divine spark of the creator, but until you come to the spiritual enlightenment, if you're just focusing on commercial realm, most of us go through and we only care about what our friends think, and we get taught by our parents who were indoctrinated, and they were taught by their grandparents that were indoctrinated. And you get thrown into the system that wants you to become a corporate slave for them. They don't want to teach you that you are the ultimate authority on this earth. They don't want to teach you that you are a divine spark of the creators of everything, that you are a fractal of God. Like they don't teach you that. They teach you that you're an accidental monkey floating on a ball in space that just is pointless. So come work for me, right? Hey, forget all that other noise. Don't worry about creation or how spirit. None of that. Don't worry about dreams. That's an evolutionary accident. Why we all have dreams. Like, oops, yeah, just sweep that under the rug. Like all these things that the public education fool system tries to keep hidden from you because they want to create great corporate slaves. And everything. A lot of people think money will fix everything. And in a lot of ways, it is a very powerful tool that you can use to do almost anything, but it's worthless. It is worthless. It is sitting there right in front of your face, and I can show you the national debt clock. That is what everybody worships. Everybody worships debt. Debt is death. Death is, is sin. Everybody worships that debt. It is a worthless, bankrupt public system that binds you. So anyway, the spiritual, but I'm glad that you see what I'm saying, and sorry I went on that rant, but like I said, I do things for a reason. So, but yeah, I'm glad you're seeing why I say these foundations are very important. A lot of people are miserable, and it's hard out there, and it's tough, and without that permanent spiritual foundation of truth, of the light and life, it is hard. I don't know how people can make it. I don't know how you can make it without having the divine creator spark flowing through you, trying to go through different, it's like a fun game. The angels are like, hey, here's the roadway to actually translate from the natural realm fully into the spiritual realm. Here you go. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, all right, let's play a game. Anyway, thanks for the gifts, homie. Much appreciated. Baby butter bee don't sting. Many don't like the spiritual. I don't know why, but my knowledge is that the spirit controls the... Yes, ma'am. 100%. That is very accurate. And that is why I try to tell everybody the spiritual realm is the most important. It is the substance behind the form, right? It is without the substance, the form is nothing. It's nothing. It's night, But, again, the way things are established, it is very, very hard to see past the natural realm because stuff feels good. It's like it just seems real, I'm like, it's like, pinch me, is this real? And it's not. It's just temporary. It's like a false. It's almost like the Washington D.C.'s jurisdiction. It's like it's false, but it's there. It's like it is there, but it ain't real. It's the same thing with this natural realm. It's like temporary, not really there. Sav. Nature, spirit, commerce is the trust created for this life we live. Yes, it is. It is. And we can be any, all, one. I don't know about none. I don't know if we can be none of the parts. I think you gotta choose one. You gotta be something. But typically you're in the center of it all, right here, with fire and love, spinning in a what is that duality? I don't want to speak out of turn with the medical kind of. It's actually like light spinning around the neutral. Like it's a beautiful thing. The two snakes of light, like the positive and negative. All these things, like if you break them down and go to its basic elements, that's how you build foundations. Now, people don't build foundations by just calling up a truck, like, oh, yo, I got $300. Let's call up a cement truck and just dump it out here in the middle of the yard, and we'll just start building. No, first you got to make sure you have enough money. Then you got to, and this is actually a proverb, guys. This is Proverbs in the Bible. A king does not start to build his temple, his palace, before first figuring out if you even got enough money. First you got to figure out if you got enough money. Then you got to have the architects. Then you got to have people that can do these things for you to start building. Like I say, you don't just you lay the foundation. Is what I'm getting at, right? I always think the best way to break down a foundation is starting from the simplest elements, right? Land, water, and air. Boom. Nature, spirit, commerce. Boom. It's equity, admiralty, common law. Boom. There it is. Boom, 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 boom. And you can build upon it. Now, and this is why my foundations can't be shaken, is because I break it down to the simplest elements to where you can't go no lower. Like there's like you can't. You know, not that I know of. And if you can, prove me. Like prove me you can go lower than freaking water or air or earth. You know, or you know, just like I'm open. Like I said, I always try to take that neutral position. And even when I decide or come from a different side, I always am open to opposing information. But I'm going to try it by fire. I'm going to test it, make sure it can hold up. Jehovah, thanks again for all the gifts, man. You are like my number one gifter, homie. Much appreciated. Or person. Like I said, I need to start saying humans because or entities. Hello, entity. Baby Buddha, what do I have to do to experience the spiritual realm? The easiest thing that I can tell you is if you've ever seen a dream or you've ever like seen your body. If you've ever dreamed, that's the spiritual realm in the unconscious state. So we have three consciousnesses. We have the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious. And we can actually play in all three of them. We've just never been taught this, especially not by the public fool system. But if you go to sleep, you're in an unconscious state. Your third eye opens more easily once your natural eyes are closed and your natural body is at rest. Okay, the false physical temporary body is resting. Then your spiritual body can become more active. Now this is quote unquote natural for your spiritual realm. That I use the word natural because I should say inherent. This is inherently how your spirit works from the beginning without like going through the 7-day walk. When you're sleeping, and it's fun. I've done it. I have done out of body only a couple times though. Astral projection where I've had my spiritual body actually come out of my natural body, and it was like, whoa! It is the most coolest thing ever. When you like, it was so free. I felt so light. It was amazing. But that's going into conscious and sub. When you're in the unconscious state, if you see your hands or feet or your body or you can even see loved ones, you're seeing fractals of their spirit. You're seeing their spiritual, like we're all tied together. That's how you're able to see like loved ones' spirits or yourself or multiples of you or your hands or whatever. The easiest way for me to tell you to reveal and see the spiritual realm is through sleeping unconsciously, right? That is how I can prove to you that there is another reality. And just like I can prove to you that there is a republic still active, you can mail for 3 cents anywhere in America in the republic. Like these are the two, like for commercial affairs and spiritual, those are the two easiest foundations I can lay for you. Is dreaming when you're asleep is the spiritual realm, and mailing mail in the republic in the commercial realm. So that's what I would suggest. Yeah, thanks Jehovah again, man. Much appreciated. I'm glad you guys are here and enjoying and walking with me. This live will be on my YouTube, guys. You can watch it. I have all my lives from TikTok posted on there. My website is broken up in a beautiful matrix where you can go into any path you want between nature, spirit, and commerce, and browse around esoteric, occult. Now, occult means hidden. A lot of people hear occult and they're thinking of like hooded freaking monks that are like sacrificing some stuff, but occult just means hidden. It's like it's secret esoteric knowledge that is on my website that the public mainstream media that wants to teach you to be basically a corporate slave monkey, teaches. But that ain't what I'm about. That ain't my path. Like if you and your loved ones and your family want that path, please by all means. And I'm glad that all y'all are here walking with me. So if y'all got any questions, tomorrow I'm going to be kind of busy. I think I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I got some good ideas. So, but I ain't going to be here. I ain't going to be up in this office. So anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed the Charles show. I think I was talking about how important the foundations were in the beginning, and what's cool about it, like I was telling Sav, is this triangle, there's more to it. It can flip upside down and spin, and it's actually a tetrahedron where the bottom is where you are is the foundation underneath with you and the Creator in love, and it's actually like a 3D pyramid. And it gets kind of deeper, with the circle and stuff like that. And I'm slowly getting there. I could just put out a bunch of videos, and I put out one video a week, and I still have so many videos that it's like it's insane. I could drown everybody. Start putting out all these freaking endless videos nonstop, but there's reasons why I take little steps and want to spoon feed, quote unquote, in order certain things. Now, the foundations are very important, as I was mentioning, because once you start laying stuff that can't be shaken, you can build upon it. And then when it's just like a house, and it even says in the scripture, when you're building a house, don't build it on sand, right? You don't want to build a house on sand by the shore, right? What's going to happen? You don't want to build it out of straw. You want to build a solid, firm foundation that can't be shooken. And it says in the Bible, the scriptures, it says basically a storm is coming no matter what. When you build your house, when you lay your foundations, when you start to grow, when you start to go on this walk, it doesn't matter if you're saved, quote unquote, give your life up to the Creator, taking spiritual walk. It don't matter if you're a sinner, you're a saint, you're in the middle of neutral ground. It says everybody's going to get hit by a storm, going to get hit by the fire. Everybody's going to get tried, no matter who you are. And it says, so when you're going to build, lay a foundation that can't be shaken, so that when the storm comes, because it's coming, it is coming, the storm is coming, no matter what, you ain't stopping it. And that is what the Creator is revealing. Build that foundation that can't be shaken. That way, when the storm comes, the foundation doesn't get washed away. You don't lose the house and all your love in it and everything that you've put in, invested in time in, because the storm is coming. And as the one guy says with the pitchforks, is funny. He says the pitchforks are coming. Be ready. All right, so yeah, you're welcome, Sav. No worries. Well, I'm at the bottom. You know, this might be a quick freaking phone call, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, TikTok Live, if y'all ain't got no questions. So I'm usually in it for an hour before my throat starts to get a little over it, and I'm an hour deep. So unless y'all got any questions, I'll probably head out, and y'all can listen to this live on YouTube if you want. I spoke about some great stuff, and anything else. So I'm here for y'all. This is it's called the Trial Show, but it's really for y'all. So Jehovah, I wish I had more questions, but I'm driving right now. I can't think of anything. It's all good, man. Like y'all can DM me. You can do anything. Oh, here we go. We got one, Mr. Michelangelo, for you. How about being a state national? Is it hard to do? No, it's not that hard to do. It's basically an unregistered entity that you can express. All you got to do is express unity with a sovereign state. So whatever state you're in is typically the one I suggest, because you actually live there, not in the corporate state, because that's a company. You can't really live there. Just express unity and dedication to the sovereign Michigan. Yeah, express unity to be a Michigan republic or national. And there's forms. There's on my website I have templates. So you go into my ID folder under is it national? I think, or state national or something. There's no, there's not a lot of paperwork. You don't have to do any paperwork. You don't have to do any paperwork. You can just express it in your heart, and then you're fine. You're good. But here's where paperwork comes in. Paperwork comes in as if you want to prove it, because in their dead commercial system, they operate off of paper, right? In the paper world, the commercial world. And what they say is, if you didn't write it down, it didn't happen, right? And it's true. And a lot of things, I'll write something down, and then a year later, I'll look and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, but if I didn't see it on paper, I would have never, in my handwriting, I would have never remembered, or whatever. So the memorialization of your declaration to a sovereign republic state is what you can use to prove, should anybody ask or question thinking that you're a U.S. citizen. You can pull out the paperwork. Now, typically what you can do is memorialize it on a declaration. Then you can have that I got banned. I got cut off. I wonder if this is still going to film. I got banned. Well, and then you can send that out to different entities, and then say that this is what my records say. What do yours say? And then if they don't respond, you'll have proof in writing what you basically are trying to memorialize, which is that you are a national. I wonder why TikTok cut my live, but I still am recording it, so I'm going to post this on YouTube, and we'll go from there. So I guess I'm going to wrap up, because I'm probably suspended for a week from YouTube for explaining how you can prove that you're a national. Anyway, all right. Love you guys that aren't there anymore because I got cut, and I'll see you.